everybody. Welcome. I'm so glad you guys could all come tonight. I'm Barbara Boshin from Merchant Minds. We have relisting software that helps you take your listings from Amazon to Walmart. And we also have listing optimization software called EasyKey that helps you get keywords automatically into your listings on Amazon. Chakra?
Hi, my name is Chakra. I run a small accounting and tax firm focused on e-commerce sellers called Jungle Books.
Yeah. And tonight we have a very special guest who I know really well. He's actually my business partner. His name is Brian Salmanowitz. And we do something, I thought it'd be really interesting for the group. I know I saw some interest on our Facebook group to learn more about what we do with custom. So you can do custom on Amazon, and really very few people do or really even know how to go about it. It's a huge opportunity. There's lots of room for growth. Brian is the expert. One of the clients that, well, a couple of clients that we manage, but one of the clients that we manage does a lot of custom. And we have grown that, mostly Brian has grown that from like 30,000 a year to over $1 million just on predominantly custom products. So there's really an opportunity there. And, you know, like everything else, if it's a little hard, you can really take advantage of it. So, hey, Brian, welcome.
Hey, thanks. Glad to join you guys today. So yeah, we'll talk about Amazon Custom today. Amazon Custom, as Barbara said, is a great opportunity. So I'll try to give you the basics of Amazon Custom so you can think about how maybe it could play a role in your Amazon seller business. So let's see, I have a short presentation here that we can kind of click through if I can figure out how to get it started.
And as usual, if you have any questions, put them in the chat and I'll try to intersperse them into a presentation when they make sense.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I guess real quick about me. I've been selling since 2012. As Barbara mentioned, I'm a partner with the Merchant Minds software business. My background is in software development. I led teams of software developers for some large companies. So I'm very much on the technical and operations side of the business. I have a lot of experience, obviously, selling on Amazon, Walmart, eBay, Jet before they shut it down. A lot of experience in custom software, website development, API integration, both FBA and seller fulfilled models, doing a lot of seller fulfilled in recent years. As Barbara mentioned, we do Amazon account management. So we help companies sell on Amazon who don't have the in-house expertise, and Amazon Custom. Okay. So quick overview. What is Amazon Custom? So Amazon Custom is a service that allows sellers to offer custom or personalized products on Amazon. There's a lot of different kinds of products that can be customized. It could be personalizing, putting someone's name on a product. It could be building a bookcase with different components. I mean, it could be anything where you want to give the user choices. That's custom. Amazon Custom is specifically, it's the collection of this data, of this customization data. That's what Amazon Custom is. It's really the ability to ask questions of the customer, allow them to provide information, allow them to pick from choices, and do that in a structured way. So it applies to most categories on Amazon. There's some where, like some electronics type products where categories where Amazon does not allow custom, but for most categories, they do support custom. The actual customization of the product, like I said, is not done by Amazon. It's just collection. So the actual customization, that would be done by whoever's manufacturing the product. So it can be engraving or embroidery. And you can think of it at, if you have a backpack, you want to embroider the kid's name on it. That name can be collected through Amazon Custom. You can print on products. You can produce labels, different colors. Colors can usually be handled with a parent-child, but it can also be handled through custom where it makes sense. Maybe you have a sign and you want to offer 10 different colors of paint that you have. That can be done through custom, along with, other, maybe the, other components of what the sign is or what it contains. So I'll give you some more examples in a few minutes. Important thing here is when you're building custom products, they can't be expected to ship within one business day like everything else, like stock products. So there's a fulfillment lag time field in Amazon, and you want to set that to a reasonable time so you have time to actually personalize and ship the products. This field's on the offer tab in Amazon. And Amazon Custom is free. So they charge us for a lot of stuff, but there's no charge right now for Amazon Custom. You're able to use this, collect the data, and just the normal fees, your 15% commission rate and your shipping fees apply. Okay. So real quick, what Amazon Custom is not, right? It's not a back and forth email with the customer to get the customization details. The benefit of Amazon Custom is you collect the data you need to produce the product when the order is placed, so that you're not waiting on customers to get back to you. I remember when we first started doing this a few years ago, the client we had, they were literally trying to exchange emails with customers to get their data. And as you know, a lot of Amazon messages don't always get, end up in the spam folder. You don't get replies. So the beauty of this is it comes with all the data you need, comes with the order. Amazon Custom is not print on demand. Although custom products are generally made after the order is placed, it kind of works in conjunction with print on demand, or it can work in conjunction with print on demand, but it can also work in conjunction with manufacturing or anything else.
Yeah, so you can use a print on demand company inside of Amazon. I'm a little reluctant to do it on my account, but on a secondary account or something that kind of makes sense. I'm just a little nervous about their fulfillment times and if they mess something up and.
Right, and you're referring to a print on demand company.
Yeah.
I was also thinking print on demand in-house.
Right.
You're basically manufacturing the product on demand after the order's placed.
Mm-hmm.
Either way. So it's not merch. It's not Amazon merch. That's a print on demand, obviously, that Amazon fulfills and handles. And Amazon Custom, it does not actually create the custom products, and it generally does not create the full graphic file that you're looking for. So it collects data. They do provide you, if a customer uploads an image as part of the customization, they'll provide you that file. If they type in information in the right font that they want, you will get that information communicated a few different ways through Amazon, so you can work with it. Okay. So why would you want to use Amazon Custom? First is Amazon's becoming increasingly competitive, right? One of the benefits of custom is it differentiates you versus all the other sellers. So let's go to the example of a backpack. If you're selling a certain backpack and you're competing with 10 people, that's fine. You're getting maybe you're getting 1/10 of the sales. But now you could be the only one maybe offering an embroidery on that backpack. So you would get 100% of the orders for people who want a name embroidered on it.
And we don't do this, but you could use that as a competitive advantage and not charge. I mean, we charge a significant up fee, right? But you could do that for free and, maybe take a lot more of that space than you otherwise would.
Yep. So, and Barbara brings up price, you can charge more, right? So let's say embroidering a backpack, let's say the cost is $5 in terms of, person time to do that. Well, you could charge $10 maybe for that. So you can make additional profit margin versus what you would make on a stock listing. And, we have examples where we're charging, I think, $15 more for personalizing certain products versus stock.
Because a lot of time the stock, especially if it's a branded item, is so underwater anyway, like Amazon's selling it. So it's a really thin margin, and we can, jump it up to MAP plus some.
Custom products are not returnable. So once a product is customized, there's no 30-day, no questions asked return policy that applies. So generally with customized products, you can have a lower return rate or no return rate, unless, if you make a mistake, obviously you have to fix it, but there's no more like, the customer just doesn't want it anymore. That's not valid, and you don't have to accept returns in that condition. Another opportunity which we've looked at is building on existing high volume listings. So let's say you're selling a product and you're selling, 1,000 a month or 100 units a month, or someone else's. You can then create a personalized version of that product, parent it in, so it's on the same listing. So it gets all those eyeballs that are going to that high volume listing. And if you can carve off maybe 5% or 10% of those people to then get a customized version, you get traffic day one. So it's a great way to launch very quickly into custom and get some sales. And as I said, once you create that personalized version, an Amazon custom listing can only have one seller. So if you're the one that creates it, no other sellers can jump on your custom listing. So some examples of custom products, these are just a few, just to give you an idea. There's some pictures on here. T-shirts, you could put photos, you could put names. If you're doing sublimation or any other printing on clothing, the company we work with, they say it's the same cost if they do a photo versus a name versus anything. They generally have, they have to get the artwork together and then print it. There's not much difference in cost regardless of what's printed. So giving customers the ability to really create a unique gift, they're generally willing to pay for it. So, here's an example of a photo, but if you put a photo and you put the kid's name or the parent and kid's names together, and you put that below it, maybe they're willing to spend more for that even. Coffee mugs, putting the name and initial or a favorite quote on a coffee mug. A lot of times you'll see a mug here that I grabbed. This is just a design I grabbed off the internet. But a lot of times what we'll do is we'll have some sort of monogram design and a place to put the name. So the design is static. The name is what changes. Personalized golf balls, backpacks. Like I mentioned with names. This is a backpack that is probably a generic backpack, right? Not a name brand. Well, all of a sudden you put a name on it, and maybe people want to buy it because it stands out now. It's something a little bit unique. And this is a very large embroidery on this backpack. So these are some ideas. There's thousands of ideas, but just to give you an idea of how Amazon Custom can be used to collect this data and then put on product. So skills you need to do Amazon Custom. So it is more complicated than selling on Amazon, which is getting more complicated every year anyway. So first you need to source the products. So you need to source either product blanks, meaning like blank mugs, blank t-shirts, or identify existing products that you may already have that can be personalized. Maybe you sell flasks and you want to put the person's name on it, or be able to engrave a quote onto the flask. As an example, like I said, backpacks, a lot of people sell backpacks. If they can embroider, or they can partner with somebody to embroider, then they could potentially offer that product. The ability to perform the product personalization is another skill. So I mentioned embroidery. You might have that ability. You may want to bring in that machine to do it. You may not. Find someone local who does embroidery, who you can send these orders to, and they can ship them for you. There's a lot of different ways to personalize embroidery, printing, etc. But it could be, you could start easy. I mean, you could start with printing stickers. You could print business cards. I'm not saying there's a lot of margin in it, but it's a way to kind of, you can start with less investment. You do need basic image editing experience. So when you're doing custom, you do need to mock up different product images showing the names and showing the personalization on the product. In addition, you need to create a preview image for the customization dialog. I'll show you some of those examples. So some basic image editing experience. I mean, I'm not a graphics person. I can do this. You spend a day or two playing around with different software. I learned over time. But being able to resize images, being able to white out backgrounds, most of us can do that at this point. Being able to overlay a name onto a blank or a picture onto a blank so it looks like it's real. Or you can physically produce products and take pictures. That's the other way to go at it. And you also need to be able to sell or fulfill your orders, right? You can't FBA a customized product, right? You're making this thing on demand. So you need to be able to ship it. So if you're customizing it or if you're partnering with someone else to customize it, they need to be able to ship the product. Okay. So customization basics. First, you need to register as an Amazon custom seller and get approved. Currently, and I did this like a week or two ago, it seems like it's a no-brainer, 5 minutes, you're approved. So it seems to be still very easy to get approved. Products can be enabled as customized as a custom product in the manage inventory page. So when you're editing your listings, let's say you create a new listing for a t-shirt, you would click on the option to add or edit customization and work through the workflow there to add the customization to your product. And as I mentioned earlier, you'll need to set a handling time or fulfillment lag to give you a couple days time before you need to ship the product. I normally set it to like 3 days, but depending on how quickly you turn products around, 1 to 5 days is normal. And this will set the expectation for the customer that they're not going to get it in 2-day prime. They're going to get it maybe in a week or 10 days. Whether they acknowledge that they saw that date is another story. We still have customers who create a totally customized product and they expect it to be there next day because they think everything's prime and everything's fast, and that'll happen. All right, so some quick customization basics. Each product that you're customizing, I'm showing an example of a rubber stamp here. Each custom product can have one or more surfaces. So a surface, it's pretty self-explanatory, but think of like a t-shirt, maybe the front and the back of the t-shirt are two surfaces that can be customized, okay? Maybe a backpack has 3 surfaces. Those are, the embroidery on the top and an image on the front and an image on the back, I don't know. So you can have multiple surfaces. For each product you want to customize, you need to create a preview image, which is a 400 by 400 JPEG or PNG file. And you can see up here in my little example, it's the rubber stamp and the blue box below it. That area is my 400 by 400 preview image. And what I did on this listing is I configured it so the customer can upload their image, what they want on their stamp, and it's displayed in this box. The box, this is a square stamp, so I'm showing them a square space where their image would show up. Okay. Best practices, usually in this customization image, you want to show them the product they're actually buying. If there's a design that they're buying, you want to show them that design, and you want to show them their customization text. Now, there's three kinds of customization that Amazon supports: text-based customization, image, like image uploads, and a list of options, which is basically a drop-down selection. So I'll kind of go through those real quick. Text-based customization is generally, initials, names, any type of input. The example here is this is a ping pong ball, and the design, which I'm showing the ping pong ball, has an initial and a name field. So the user type, in this case, the user typed in G and Glendon as the name. And while we're not showing them how it would look, we are collecting that data. And then behind the scenes, I would merge that into an artwork file to be then printed. So Amazon allows up to 5 fields of personalized text per surface. There's various font and color options available. In cases like this, where we're defining what the font and the colors are going to be, we hide those fields so that they don't see those choices. You could, they have basic text validation. You can mark fields as required. You can set the maximum characters. You can even say it needs to be all capitals or it needs to be numbers only. So you can set some basic text validation on what the customer enters. It's not very sophisticated, but there's some basic capabilities there. For instance, the initial field here, I'm only allowing 1 character. The name field, maybe we're allowing like 20 characters, something like that. There is now support for multi-line text. So if you are, let's say you're doing a quote, letting someone put 10 lines of text, they support that now as well. All right. So at the end of this, after the customer enters their data, they would just click the add to cart, and it adds it, to the shopping cart, and they can check out like any other order. All right, image customization can be kind of fun, and we've had some good success with images. Lots of people want to put 2 things: kids' pictures on products and weird photo gag gifs. Get a lot of play. So you see a lot of work gifs with someone, with a coworker with a really weird, expression, or they just, just make it's a gag gift, and they sell really well. So we've also had very few issues with images. So when you upload specifically with photos, we have a lot of issues with logo files, but with photos, generally the resolution is great with all the cameras and iPhones and things today. So usually the resolution comes through pretty good, and we can print those really well. Here you see a Frisbee. So I don't know if you can tell this is a Frisbee. So this is a Whammo Frisbee where the center can be printed. And the user here uploads a photo of a kid. And there's some basic capabilities where they can move the photo around, center it the way they want before they add to cart. So Amazon supports JPEG and PNG formats, which usually works out pretty well with photos. You can map, when you're setting this up, for those of you who are good with image editing programs, you can set up a mask, which I did here in the middle, which is basically like you make the middle transparent, and the photo that's uploaded is laid in behind it so that it crops the circle perfectly. So that works out really well especially for non-square, non-rectangular areas. So it really shows them exactly the way it's going to look. With the most recent release that Amazon Custom has made, you can now combine images and text together. So maybe you want to do a photo and have a space for the child's name to also be on it. You can do that now. You can accept multiple images if you have a need for that. There really is no image validation. So there's nothing to stop someone from uploading a 50 by 50 pixel image, which would never print well. So there is still, sometimes you have to cancel orders or reach out to customers and get better artwork. So that's one of the downsides with images. I would love to be able to say on this Frisbee, it must be a minimum of, 1,200 by 1,200 within the printing area, but they don't have that capability yet. Any questions there, Barb?
I have to unmute. Yeah, I think one of the things I wanted to ask is the world of custom today is significantly different than it was a year ago, right? So Amazon's super committed to this. I think they still wish they had a lot more people involved, because obviously it's so easy to get approved. They don't really make you just go, okay, you're approved. But do you see, like, what were the differences between what you used to be able to do and now can do? So give people like an idea of like that upgrade.
Right. So Amazon did an upgrade, I guess it was around the middle of last year. And they added a lot of features to the text customization. So a lot of the multi-line text, for instance, you couldn't do that before. Being able to combine images and text together on the same product, you couldn't do before, on the same surface. So there's some basic things there. They've added a lot more support for fonts out of the box that are just loaded and ready to be used. In addition, you can upload your own fonts. So and they've also added a few features I haven't quite used yet. One is like instruction, the ability to like accept instructions if you want to let the customer give you certain instructions, things like that. So these features, they sound small, but they're starting to grow it out. You know, they have
texting is huge because that was so annoying. You had like 3 texts, I mean 3 fonts, and so if you can, if they have like 24 now, that's easy. Like that makes it really like takes a step out of the process, because making a custom listing isn't hard, it's just lengthy sometimes.
Yeah, and it's still they also have templates. So if you were doing, let's say you're doing coffee mugs and you're doing 50 different designs, but they all just basically accept a name field. Well, you can create you can configure the customization once, you can create a template, and then you can just upload the other 49. And so there's things like that where they're making it a little more productive. Still have a ways to go here, but it's still in the right direction. I was so happy because there wasn't a release for years, for like 3 years, and then they finally did something that was fairly useful.
Yeah.
So list of options customization. This is just a drop-down capability. So if you have a fixed list of options, you want to have the customer pick one. That's what you would use this for. So in this case, this is, you see a drop down here that says, what orientation do you want for this product? Left, right, top, center, top, bottom. Fairly straightforward, but a couple interesting ways this can be used. One is you can have a different preview image for each value in this drop down. So let's say you had a sign and you had brown, black, or white colors. Well, you could have color or paint color or whatever be your option, and as they pick black or white, you can actually change the image to be white to actually show them what they're buying, which is helpful and reduces confusion. You can also charge different amounts based on what they pick. So let's say you're making a sign and natural wood is your cheapest option because you don't have to paint it, and that's $16. But if you want black or white paint, it's a $4 upcharge. You can do that. You can just, you can upcharge them for that. Maybe you want to give them 10 different size options. You're making a sign, you can make it from 6 inches to 36 inches. And you can give them those sizing options with the upcharge for each option.
You can do the same thing with like a mug. You have like an 8-ounce mug, an 11-ounce mug, and a 15-ounce mug. Or you're going to put sequins on it, or you're going to put 2 sides on a cup, which probably doesn't cost you any more than doing one side. But that second, so maybe on the one side they have an image, on the other side they're going to put a quote, right? You can charge another $3 for that. Though in reality, there's no actual additional cost to you.
Yeah, a little bit of printing cost, but not additional profit.
Yeah, not that kind of money. What about what options? I saw one the other day. I think it was for coasters, and you could add a holder. Is that allowed?
People are certainly doing it.
Okay.
So you can.
That confused me.
Yeah, I mean, I think the rule of thumb is you don't want to be changing the product into something else in customization, but you want to be customizing the product. So I would say, look, if you're selling coasters and you have two different holders or no holder as options, I would feel very comfortable offering that. I wouldn't use customization to create a bundle that like of two products that have nothing to do with each other. Let's say, I don't know, a teddy bear and a book. You know, I would create that as a parent, as a child listing. I would not say, hey, do you want to, like, I wouldn't use it to upsell. Totally.
Yeah, I guess that's a good way to do it. Like, yeah, I would rather do it like you customize the teddy bear and then you can add a book to it and you can add some things, but that's a no-no. But I thought, wow, that would have been a huge opportunity to really make a gift bundle, but they don't like that.
Yeah, I don't see them policing it, but if you read the terms, it's really geared towards customizing the product that they've already selected, not selling them brand new products. So if you were offering different packaging options, if you were offering, you know, like you said, front and back printing is a perfect example, different size options, that's all in play. And that's a good way for you to make additional money. I mean, I see people on Etsy doing this too, where, oh, I can get this thing for $2, great. And you go in there and you realize, well, if you want it in the 2-inch size, it's $2. But if you want it in any reasonable size, there's upcharges.
Yeah, I think that's a limited
kind of get people in and kind of like pump them up with the upsells.
Yeah, sometimes I think it's a limitation on the platform, but I think you're right in that case. It's definitely to do upsells. And you should certainly be adding gift wrap to that, because if they've already gone through this customization process, right, you get gift wrap on the end and add some more value.
Yeah, so gift wrap, just to be clear, you should do it using Amazon's gift wrap capability.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not adding that into custom. While the features can handle it, I think that would not work with Amazon.
Right.
Okay. So just want to show you what Amazon custom orders look like coming in. So when you get an order and you're in your Amazon Seller Central, you'll see next to the order, it'll say custom or custom order, depending on the week. They change the wording around, but basically they get flagged as a custom order. When you, and they're in there with all your other seller fulfilled orders mixed in, but they are flagged in this way. The order details, when you drill into it, you'll see in the normal section where you see your product and your prices, you'll see a customization section where the data that was collected will display. So in this case, the initial G and the name Giles was collected. So you have your information. I guess this was a bracelet order. You can basically see right there what you need to customize. And that's stored there historically. So if a customer comes back in a month saying they got the wrong thing, you can see what they ordered. You can also drill in further into the customization data. And I like this because you can see exactly the preview window that the customer saw when they placed the order. So this is really helpful in cases of customer making a typo. So not only you can actually show them the image of the order they place with the wording that they use. So if there was a typo, they can see it was their error, and you can avoid a refund in those situations.
Yeah, so that's a whole thing with the custom issue, is that they can't see it after they order it. Like, we just had a whole thing with a customer, and the sample name is Sarah, and they wanted, I don't know, Olivia. They're like, I don't want Sarah, cancel my order. I'm like, it's not Sarah, it's Olivia, I see Olivia. And they wrote back again, and they're like, and they weren't getting our email back, and they were freaking out and trying to cancel it or return it and do all this crazy stuff. I was like, geez, guys, I think we finally, I think it actually arrived and it was right. And she said, okay, I'm good now. That's how many we went back and forth, but. Yeah,
Barbara makes a good point. That's another thing I'd love them to enhance with custom in the future. The shopping cart image, the one that's emailed to the customer after they place their order, the one they see in their order history, it's always our stock image, the primary image for the listing. Amazon does not show the customized version. So yeah, people like Barbara said, people get, think they type one thing and they're seeing something else and in their order history and they don't understand. They get confused. For image customization, there's also, you'll see on this slide on the top right here, there's a download link. You can download the customization data, and there's actually 4 files that Amazon provides. And I won't go into them, but basically, if I won't go into too much detail, but if the customer's uploading a JPEG, you'll get that JPEG. You'll also get an SVG file, which is a vector image file. So you can, plus some metadata files. So sometimes that SVG file is useful for, doing things like engraving. You can basically get their text in the font and it's all ready to go. So some challenges that we're currently seeing with Amazon Custom. There's still a limit of 5 text fields per surface, but you can have a multi-line text as well. Only PNG and JPEG images types are supported. Sometimes customers want to provide, PDFs or EPS files, other or AI files, all different things. But most customers can save into one of these types. As I mentioned, there's not image validation, and for return requests, many customers don't realize that they can't return. So they still try to say, I just don't want it anymore after you've customized a product for them. So there's a little more customer service having to do with Amazon Custom than with stock products. Usually if you tell them customized products can't be returned, they go away. Unless the product just doesn't meet their expectations, then you have to resolve it.
Yeah, I get a lot, not as described. Or I get a lot, and I say, well, what was wrong? Well, I didn't realize it would be this size. I was like, well, you have to return the item in a saleable condition, so we're kind of stuck with that. And really, the only recourse anybody has with custom is to say it didn't arrive on time,
or if it's broken or something,
or there was a typo, like somebody goes, the name spelled wrong. I'm like, you spelled Harry with 3 R's. Was that the problem? And it's just like, that's the thing, that they need to send you an image so that you can say, okay, yeah, we spelled Harry with 4 R's, we're wrong, and we'll replace it for you. And we've done a lot of replacing when, human error, once in a while, the embroiderer that I use messes up, or once in a while, we miskey something or whatever, so you make good on that. But if they type the name wrong, we try to catch it, but there's dozens and dozens of orders, you can't look at them all. And sometimes people want them to be spelled wrong, like somebody spelled Joyce with Joycey, and it was going to Joyce without the second Y, and I contacted the customer, said, no, that's what I want. So best bet is to always stick with what is input and let the chips fall where they may afterwards. But
a good policy to have with customized products is some sort of a discount on a replacement. So if it's a customer error, they type it in wrong, we usually give basically a discount on a replacement. Basically so that we break even on a replacement. We don't make any money, but we try to help the customer out.
Yeah.
And that helps keep your feedback scores up if you're at least trying to meet them halfway, even when they screw up.
And that's a good point that you make about like happy customers, is that they take the personalization very, very personal. So like we have toys that we've customized with babies' names, and it's no longer a teddy bear. It's, Jimmy's teddy bear. And where is Jimmy's teddy bear? It didn't arrive yet. Is it going to get done soon? And people are really frantic. And when it's late arriving, because the post office with Q4 and everything, they're not mad at you. They just are worried. It's almost like their child is in the mail, or their item, because it's now becomes something they own, not just another thing. It's so personal to them that, I have people not even at all mad or angry that the thing was late. They just had to have it. It had to get there. So it was a real surprise to me, because I thought they would be even more annoyed that, something got lost after they had to wait all this time and pay all this money. There's a few of those, but for the most part, people just want to get it and feel really related to it.
Yeah, one of the things that really amazes me is people are really willing to spend so much more to get a name on something.
Mhm.
And that, whether it's a name, a photo, a logo, I mean, they're willing to spend sometimes double, triple what the stock product cost is for the same product. So, and I love that no one else could, once you establish a product and start selling it as a custom, I like that no one else can jump on my listing.
Yeah.
If I say it's gonna be $30, that's what it's gonna be, because nobody can undercut me.
People will rip you off with the same idea. They can do that, but again, it's so underpenetrated on Amazon, and the extent of the creativity is really super thin. Like your name here on a mug. There's no design. There's no anything. It's like, okay, great, thank you. That's not that useful. I feel like most of the custom that's being done on Amazon is being done by people who do promotional goods. So the ingenuity and the creativity is definitely lacking. They're just like, oh, just stick your name on this thing. It's like, well, maybe you can make it cuter or more fun, or, like there's just so much opportunity that we've only scratched the surface, because these things, take time to develop and build and stuff. But, the more we do of this, the more we find that we don't have to be so, um, we can be not so custom, if you know what I mean. Like we can do really creative things. So I know that didn't probably make a lot of sense, but it's just, there's just a lot of room out there to do some crazy stuff that only starting to scratch the surface. A lot of times I just go and see what they're doing on Etsy and I'm like, that might be interesting on Amazon. Let's take a look. But I really just don't see the creativity really coming to bear that I think could be there.
And that's a great thought. Etsy is obviously the home of customized and personalized products. It's a great place to go to find ideas that you can then sell on Amazon, because most Etsy sellers don't sell on Amazon.
They're afraid.
It's just not, maybe the way Amazon's positioned, and Amazon can be more complicated and less seller friendly, to be sure. But if you're looking to get into this, you can definitely browse Etsy and look for ideas of what people are doing, and then see if there's things do similar, and then launch them on Amazon.
You can do, if you're at all, I don't want to use the word crafty, but if you can do anything at all customizable, like even if you use like a fabric pen or a magic marker kind of thing, where you could put the name on a child's toy that's really cute or something like that. That's, obviously it's not going to, water's not going to make it go away. It's going to be permanent. But you can do stuff like that. You don't have to do embroidery. You don't have to do engraving. You don't have to do all this crazy stuff. There's some very simple custom stuff that can be done without investing in all these machines and everything. So, it's just really thinking like the entrepreneur that you are, and trying to apply that in a different way and problem solve.
So as I mentioned earlier, applying for Amazon Custom, super simple. Search for it and help. Click the apply here link. Takes about 5 minutes to get approved. It still seems to be, I think you have to have a professional seller account, but you should get approved right away, at least at this time. That could change. And like I said, there's no additional fee. So yeah, that wraps it up. If you need help, if you're interested in doing custom and need help getting started, or if you're a company that has a lot of products you want to figure, need help getting them loaded onto Amazon for selling, or maybe you're one of those Etsy craft makers and you want to migrate your products over to Amazon, we can help. I can help. We have quick start programs to help you get going. We can do full Amazon custom setup services to move your products. We can also help you out with some training and coaching on Amazon Custom.
Yeah,
So
some
feel free to reach
brainstorming
out.
too, because there's just so much more that you don't know until you start swimming in the pool. You see that you get to feel the water and what you can do. It's a pretty safe space. Like, yeah, this would be great for you because you do all immersion fulfilled, so it wouldn't even be a huge thing from that perspective. But
All right, thanks.
great, thank you. Okay, well, See, does anyone have any questions? Do you want to unmute? I think we can unmute everybody now.
Yeah, my daughter has one of those cricket things.
Oh yeah, that
And,
thing's huge.
She loves to do that stuff, and she paid really good money to have some fancy water bottle with her name put on it. Those water bottles, have you seen those things? They're like $50 now.
I know. You can, there's so much product that if you were to do customization with either you do it yourself or you could do it with print on demand. I'm still really nervous with print on demand. Like I said, we're doing it in a test account to try it out because I'm just concerned about like what happens if it gets messed up. And like, is Printify going to go, oh yeah, let me move you to the front of the line, or are they just going to be like, oh, we're working on it. So that's where I get a little nervous with it, but I'm willing to try it and see how if it's 1 out of 500 orders, I'm good. I can deal with that. I'll refund the customer and move on. But there's so much, like even to do it on Walmart, right? You can't do custom on Walmart, but you could do the print on demand on Walmart. But I just feel like there's huge opportunity on Amazon. And like, if she's got that machine that does vinyl, right? Is that vinyl?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she could do vinyl on anything.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she could do any, and I don't know, does it do one color? I'm not familiar with what the
You
Cricut
can
does.
do almost anything. I mean,
Okay.
it's-
And then you heat press it on or something?
it just it sticks on there. So I don't know.
Okay.
It sticks on there somehow. But I was thinking
That
of
might be
that.
something that you want to see what she can do and come up with some designs and give it a shot. I mean, you probably have so much of your own product that you do.
Yeah, I
I'm
got a lot
looking
of
back, I see a lot of boxes anyway, that this might be applicable to. Like I was thinking, like, the horses that kids ride, those little, like, they have like a little horse head and then it's a stick, hobby horse. You could put a kid's name on that with that, right? You could maybe not the best idea, but I mean, like if you think of all the toys out there that you could do, there's just, so much that could be done.
Yeah, I think I applied for custom when they first opened it. I never did anything with it. I think I got approved. I have to even find the login.
You don't need a login.
Oh, it's not a separate
No,
login.
you see it on your account. So it's intrinsic to the account. Let me take a quick look at mine and see what it says, where it is.
So, but then can you just list within your normal account?
Yes.
Yeah, you add a listing to it. Go ahead, Brian. I'll look for it.
Yeah, so if you go to your in your manage listings in Amazon, let's say you have an existing listing, manage inventory. In your drop down edit menu, you should see an option that says basically make custom. Now, you'll only see that option if no one else is selling it. So you find, that's where it would be. So you just add a listing to your manage inventory. And then after you add it, you go to the edit menu, you say add edit customization.
And it can be like any product that's not related to, like what I have is not customizable, but
Right. So you can create a new listing that, for a customizable product. You just create it normally through Seller Central. And then as a second step, you add the customization information.
Oh.
And then if you know how to parent-child products, if you have a stock or non-customizable version and a customizable version, we like to parent those together so people can buy it either plain or with the customization.
So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, custom.
In the button.
Disabled. Okay, all my products custom is disabled. Okay.
Yeah.
No, you enable it. You enable it. So I'm just go there to be more.
If you're seeing that custom disabled column, that means you have Amazon custom.
Okay. So when
That shows up after you register.
Okay. But if you want to not do it under the same thing, but you want to keep it kind of separate.
Create a new SKU. So if you have a listing, you want to create a custom version, you can just copy that listing, create a new one, You know, you may have to assign a new UPC or have an exemption on
Yeah,
it.
they don't have Amazon doesn't have a good answer for that. If you look under growth on your Seller Central, you'll see if you have the custom program approved.
Well, I do because I remember like all my products have custom column automatically.
Yeah,
So,
so you've got it.
but where did you say to look at, Barbara?
Under, you'll say catalog, inventory, pricing, and Seller Central, and it should say growth, and it should say fulfillment programs, explore programs, lending, custom program.
Yes, custom program. Fulfillment.
And then if you click on it, it'll say, hey, welcome.
Oh, congratulations, you're now an Amazon custom seller. Okay.
I've never looked at that menu until now, but yep.
I wanted to see what other programs, and I looked at explore programs, and all it says
I
is like an
just did
explore
that.
lightning deals.
I think it was 5 seconds I got approved.
Ta-da! Like I'm telling you, like they really want to encourage this. They see Etsy as an existential threat, because you know, mass customization is huge. All these everybody wants something that's personal and special for them. You know, whether it's like custom tailored or something like that. Which, I mean, you probably could do that. I don't know how you would implement that, but there's so many things that you could offer someone. You could offer them a blanket and you could say, do you want it with this border trim? Do you want it with this applique? Do you want it in what 6 colors? You can change all this stuff and like the person really gets really sticky, right? Because they're on there for a long time, customizing and loading pictures and picking options and changing this and changing that they don't want to walk away from it. They want to add that to their cart because they've just invested a lot of time into it. You know, I
Well,
just get
eBay's added all that too recently.
yeah. So I just get frustrated with Amazon, like, and I would really like to upsell them in this process flow. If they're customizing a teddy bear, why can't I add a little teddy bear rattle and a teddy bear blanket? All relevant and all consistent, but Amazon doesn't like that. Let me workflow bundle or something, but they just don't, you know, maybe they'll get around to it.
I'll rumble in the bundle.
Yeah. I just like them to be able to let me offer customers a discount to order multiple units. It's just, I just can't get over why that's like a challenge. They do it in business, so why wouldn't they do that in that? But, well, any other questions?
No, that was very good. Thank you.
You have any questions, you know, where we can ask in the group or, you know, give Brian, reach out to him. He knows how to do it all. So, all right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks. Bye-bye.